offensive execution can get better, and then I thought our first shot defense was good, and we gave them too many second chance opportunities, especially in the fourth quarter, and just have to have a better balance there on both ends, being better offensively, being better closing out possessions on the defensive end.
How do you get guys not to get discouraged defensively when shots aren't going down?
I think it's more about just regardless of whether and it's the same thing on handling winning and losing or everything else, regardless of what's happened before, you just got to move on to the next play. But it's easier said than done. But you got to trust that if we are generating good looks, trusting those looks regardless of if they go in, and then competing at a high level defensively regardless. And so just continuing to build that trust with each other on both ends of the floor.
Joe, after the game, Kristaps said the energy was a little flat. And even kind of early in, I think it was the second quarter, Jalen started working the crowd a little bit. To what extent does the energy in the building make an impact on the game? And do you have a responsibility to feed that energy for the guys and for the fans?
Do I have a responsibility? Yeah, I think I do have a responsibility to generating a level of energy or enthusiasm. I think that's part of it. I think we all do. But that's it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How do you go about navigating that?
I don't know. That's maybe something I can get better at as a coach. I don't know.
Kristaps has said he feels like he's close to getting back to where he wants to be physically on the court. Have you seen him progress, especially since this most recent injury?
Yeah, it takes continuity. What's he been back 3 games, 4? I think it's wins getting back. I think just develop. Really, to me, it's not a physical thing. It's more of tactical stuff of our guys getting reps with each other, our guys getting reps as a team. I think to this point, I was looking at it earlier. We played 115 minutes with our starting 5, and last year at this point it was triple that. And so I think it's not as much the physical as it is like the rhythm and the trust and the habits that we have to build. Whether it's sprinting to your spots on the offensive end, having a recognition of what the matchups are, making sure we're executing versus the right coverage, making sure defensively we're in the right positions and communicating the proper way. I think, physically he looks great. I think it's just continuing to build trust and habits amongst the guys.
And even though that starting group is the same as it was last year, I guess how important is, you touched on just getting those consistent reps, even though they're familiar with playing with each other, but kind of getting on that.
Yeah, the most, you can't overestimate the importance of details, habits, and execution. And so we just have to continue to work that, hold each other accountable to it, rep it, demand it from each other. So that just comes with a little bit of time. And, the most simplest things to do are the hardest things to do. So we just got to continue to do them, work at them.
How is Drew Peterson progressing with his health?
He's getting better. He's looking good. He got on the floor a little bit yesterday. Was shooting a little bit, some non-contact stuff. So he's getting better.
Last question.
It's a general question, but when you have a player that's shown some flashes in games but hasn't got a lot of opportunity, what do you look for behind the scenes over kind of a longer period of time to know when they're eventually ready to step up?
I would say more it's just, to me, it's just consistency. Consistency and perspective and professionalism. I think if you're able to have an understanding of why they're getting playing time or why they're not, but at the same time, do they have the right mindset to be consistent in their work ethic, consistent in their approach, and in the minutes, any minutes they have, can you learn from those? And so an example, there's times where I'll put Jaden Springer in with 0.5 seconds or 1 second because of his ability to guard in the full court, when those situations where TJ McConnell or Peyton can get there. And there was a game last week where somebody hit a half court shot because they didn't execute it in a great way. And I showed Jaden and I said, this 1.5 seconds is just as important as if you went in at the start of the second quarter. So I think validating opportunities for them to get better and also watching how they handle the professionalism of their day-to-day stuff is important.
Thank you, Joe.
Thanks.